Buying a home can be overwhelming and at times stressful, but in this video, I'm going to simplify it and show you how anyone can buy their first home in 2025 and what that process looks like. If you don't know who I am, my name is Charles. I'm a local realtor here in the DMV. In this video, I'm going to break it down step by step, so follow along and let's lock in. Number one, you need to do a self-assessment. I'm talking finances, mental. You need to review your entire life and see where you are. You want to see what are your goals in the next 5 to 10 years. Do you want to start a family? Do you have a family? Do you plan to relocate? Have you ever dreamed of relocating? Do you love the area you live in? You need to assess your life and see where you are and what your goals are for the next few years. Because if you have goals that you plan on achieving, which don't necessarily involve buying a home, it may not be a good time to buy that home. So next, you're going to lock down your finances. So there are some key aspects you need to lock in on before you buy this home. Number one is going to be your credit score. We need a minimum of 620, but the higher the score, the better. So how do you increase your score? Well, it's going to be eliminating debt and consolidating your debt to income ratio as much as you can. So lower your debt, pay off credit cards, clean up as much debt as possible. You want to go into the lending office with as little debt as possible. That way you can ensure you get the best rate, the best deals. Next is going to be savings. And I'm not talking about just saving for the down payment for the home. I'm talking overall savings. Yes, you should save up some for the home. Most people are getting away with putting down 3 to 5% in 2025 for home buyers. There are also programs that can help you with down payment assistance and closing costs. Now, after that, you're going to want to factor in home ownership costs. So now that you're a homeowner, all the maintenance and anything that happens to that property is going to fall on you. So you need to be prepared to cover those expenses when things happen. And things happen all the time. You know, HVAC can go out, plumbing can go out. You can have electrical issues. There are so many things that can happen when you own a home that you want to be prepared for. And you just bought your first home, and I'm sure you want to furnish it. I'm sure you have a nice vision of what your home's going to look like. So getting that savings nest egg is going to be very important before locking into that first mortgage. So you've done your self-assessment, you reviewed your finances, you know what to expect and what you're shooting for in life in the next 5 to 10 years. You've locked that down. Now it's time to build your real estate team. Moving into number 2 is building your real estate dream team. That dream team is going to be led by your real estate agent, who is going to become your best friend in the buying process. That realtor is going to be your eyes and ears to the market. They're going to know what's hot, what's not hot, what to look for, any upcoming news in that community. They're going to be your eyes and ears, okay? They're going to negotiate for you, and they're going to represent your best interest. So it's important to find a realtor that's going to help you out, that's going to meet your needs, and that's going to support you through the home buying process from beginning to end. Then when you find that realtor may have recommendations for lenders. A lender is going to be your second key player on the team. That's going to secure your financing. So with that lender, you want to find an expert that's going to give you all the ins and outs of your mortgage, and that's going to help you find the best overall deal and rate, and also capitalize on any local programs or incentives that mortgage officer has to have. Your real estate agent may have a recommendation, but it's always recommended to go to at least 2 to 4 lenders. Don't worry about the impact on your credit score. As long as you're running your credit score in a 30-day period, there will not be a drastic effect on your score. So it's recommended to go to 2 to 4 lenders to ensure you're getting the most overall value and the best deal for your mortgage moving forward. So let's briefly recap. Steps 1, do a self-assessment, review your finances, your goals, and then step 2 is build your real estate dream team. All right. Now we got the groundwork laid. We can move into the fun stuff. We're going to be at step number 3, which is home hunting. So you've been scrolling Zillow for a long time. You've been looking at the market. You know what you love. You know what you don't like. You're ready to go feel, see, touch, get a sense of what your first home is going to look and feel like. So you want to come up with a list of your must-haves and your nice-to-haves, okay? Your must-haves are going to be the amount of bedrooms you need, number of bathrooms, what you want out of your community, school districts. You want to lock down your must-haves. These are non-negotiables, and these are things you cannot deviate on. So when you begin house hunting, your realtor is probably going to ask you two key questions. What are your must-haves? What are your nice-to-haves? Your must-haves are going to be the amount of bedrooms you need, the communities you prefer, the school districts you're looking for. Do you want a yard? No yard? These are going to be your non-negotiables that you do not want to deviate from during the home buying process. Then you're going to have your nice-to-haves. These are cool. You don't absolutely need them. It's not going to make or break a deal, but it definitely makes the deal better, and it's going to make you find that home you fall in love with. The nice-to-haves could be a renovated kitchen, a soak-in tub, a pool. It could be anything you want. These are the nice-to-haves that are really going to sweeten the deal. So make sure you have those two lists and you stay committed to those lists. Also consider budget and pricing can also play a role in those two lists. So make sure you lock down your must-haves and, of course, add your nice-to-haves to help your realtor aid in their search. And that's also going to help them find you the best possible home. So in this process, always be ready. Don't fall in love too quick. Set realistic expectations for your budget and what you want out of the deal, okay? Not all homes are perfect, but that's when we're going to get into the next step, which is submitting an offer. So during the house hunting process, we want to set realistic expectations so you're not caught off guard. Remember, not all houses are going to be perfect. Not all houses are going to have everything you want. But when you find the house you do love and that does have everything you want, I don't want you to just dive all into it. I want you to provide that same level of scrutiny that you're going to provide to the other properties that you weren't necessarily feeling, because you never know. It may look good on the outside and inside, but there may be some structural issues that you can't see that you need to consider, which is why a home inspection is always recommended for any property you're buying. Now, step 4 is going to be making an offer. And going back to step number 2, this is where building that real estate team is going to play a key factor. So during step 4, your agent is going to help you write a competitive offer. That offer is going to include an offer price, is going to include contingencies, and it's also going to include an earnest money deposit. Now let's cover what all those things mean. The offer price is going to be your initial offer on that home. The seller will have an opportunity to review the offer price and respond with either accepting that offer, providing a counter offer, or straight up declining it. Next is going to be contingencies. Contingencies are always important. Most common contingencies are a home appraisal, a home inspection, a home sale contingency, and also financing. The home inspection contingency gives the buyer the right to hire a certified inspector to come review the home, assess it, and provide feedback on what the home needs, where it stands, and anything wrong with that property. It's going to give the buyer flexibility to come back to the table and say, hey, this inspection didn't go as expected. We want to change our offer to this, or we want to back out of the property, because the offer is a legally binding contract. And lastly is going to be earnest money. Some earnest money deposits can be about 1% to 3%, especially in a competitive market, but it's very situational. Some earnest money deposits can be $500 to $1,000. It all depends on the market, the situation, and it just varies, to be completely honest. So the earnest money is going to be discussed between you and your agent. And if the earnest money is basically a good faith deposit. Okay, so when you submit this offer, if the seller were to accept, that would mean their property would be taken off market and would be currently under contract. So that seller just wants to ensure you're a serious buyer, you're looking to move forward with this property, and the earnest money deposit is essentially just skin in the game. So let's recap. Now, we've gone through our pre-assessment. We've evaluated our life, our finances. We have everything in check. We've hired our real estate dream team. We found our dream home. We submitted our offer. The seller has agreed. We have our contingencies in place. Our earnest money deposit was given. Now we're going to start the underwriting and inspection process. So after your offer is accepted, here's what happens. You're going to have a certified home inspector come out, look at that entire home, every inch, centimeter of that entire home, and they're going to provide a detailed assessment. If there's something specific that stood out to us during our initial walkthrough, we can point that out to the inspector so they can look into it a little deeper. But this is where we're going to get a detailed review of the property and its condition from an expert. We're going to review that home inspection. If something comes back, we're not happy with it, that's when your realtor will discuss with the seller and come to an agreement. Another phase of this is going to be your financing. So this is where the loan officer is going to finalize your loan and get all the terms and conditions in place. Along with your home inspection, your lender is also going to require an appraisal. That appraisal is going to give you an assessed value of that property at that day. The lender is going to require that in order to finalize your loan and the terms associated with that loan. And that's going to lead into another portion of this, and that's financing. After that appraisal is done, the value is checks out, the loan amount is valid, the lender can finalize the terms of your mortgage. During the underwriting process, you don't want to make any major financial purchases. I know you've been looking at that car. I know you've been looking at that furniture. You want to sit tight, wait for the closing to fully take place before you make any big purchases. I know that new car sounds good. I know that vacation sounds good, but just sit tight, hang on. Let's get everything done. We're a few weeks out in most cases, but hang tight. Don't spend any additional money at this time. Don't start going crazy on furniture just yet. Now, let's get to step 6. You have gone through the entire process. Your financing is in check. Your home is checked out at the appraised value. Your home inspection came back well. There's no significant issues with the property. We're going to move forward with the initial offer. We're at the final step, which is closing day. On closing day, you're going to get the keys to your property, and that home you've been putting all this work into, doing all these inspections and getting all this stuff in place for, you're going to finally be able to move into that home. So here's where you'll sign all your final paperwork. You'll transfer your funds, get your keys, and boom, it's time to celebrate. Congratulations, you are officially a homeowner. During the closing process, we're going to finalize all the documents, sign all the paperwork, transfer the funds, and give you the keys to your new home. Now it's time to celebrate, buy that furniture, move in, and start living life in your new home. So there you have it. That's the process to buy a home, from getting the pre-approval from the lender all the way to getting your keys at closing day. I hope you're feeling more confident about the home buying process now after this quick video. But if you're not, you have any questions, or maybe you are feeling more confident after this video, shoot me a message, email, DM. All my information is linked below in the description. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button below. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.